Hi. Okay, so I've never done something like this before, where I just sit down and decide to ramble for God knows how long. Um, I know that I was told like probably an hour or so. And I think I can do that. I mean, I don't tend to ramble to myself a lot, mind you, but um actually, no, that is a complete and utter fucking lie. I ramble to myself a lot. um, but you know, it happens. Uh, the first topic that I guess I should probably touch upon was one that I had planned, and that is the funny little fucking Goro Akechi debate club, as I think I'm going to call it. uh, God, where do I even begin with a character like Goro Akechi, you know? Um, I think he's a good character. Um, that's not to be like, oh, I know Goro Akechi inside and out, and I think that he shouldn't be fucking hated on by the community or whatever. I don't give a shit what your opinion on Goro Akechi is, you know? Um, also, I do have food that I'm eating while I game here, so. I do agree with the fact that a lot of people kind of, uh, it feels bad to say, but I feel like a lot of people do get his character wrong. And again, that's not to be like, oh, I know this character better than you do. That's not what I'm trying to say. It's more so, it's very easy to kind of get a character wrong if you don't really look into them or anything, stuff like that. And it happens, you know, it's bound to happen one way or another. Whenever it comes to Goro, a lot of people nail him down as a very angry kind of character, I guess the word that I would use. Or not really angry, but bitter and defensive. And that's not wrong by any means. Like, he is very defensive about himself and he is very bitter. But you also have to keep in mind that he's literally a teen who's gone through so much shit and is like now working for his awful son of a bitch father that literally just has him killing people for their own benefit. And it's like, dude, that's kind of fucked up, you know? And I mean, I think it's a very interesting take on a character like that. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, I might completely trail off and get focused in the game. That's my bad. But I'm also going to eat food. Oh, these shirts. They are certainly a look, that's for sure. It was cute. I'm gonna get those actually. Thank you. Fucking, what was I gonna say? I don't know. I wanna get that sea cucumber farm. But yeah, I feel like there is a couple of people who completely misunderstand Okechi, but I also just like, I have my own view of the character, as people usually do with anything regarding that. And oh my god. And that's not like necessarily a bad thing or anything. People are allowed to view a character how they wish to view that character. It just becomes a bit of an issue when that argument about how characters should be portrayed or something, it becomes this topic of debate of, oh, you may think this way, but my way of thinking about it is better, and you should think of it how I do, whatever, stuff like that, you know? The point is, a character who gets his characterization wrong, whatnot. Fucking... Again, this is not to be like, oh, I know Goro Akechi better than you do. I'm literally fucking friends with, like, 3 Goro Kennies. It's kind of depressing. Just goes to show that daddy issues are definitely a thing, and we are not escaping them anytime soon. I don't know why I said that. It's fine. It happens. You sometimes you just say things and you just proceed to not think about it later. But yeah, I don't really know where else to touch upon. I mean, I could say how I feel Goro should be written as by other people, but I don't think it would really make much of a difference on that whole thing. I'm moving my mic a bit closer, sorry. Like, I don't know, I could say, I think Goro Akechi should be written as someone who, is angry and bitter, yes, but is able to mask it up, like, fucking hella good. Because of the fact that he's had to as a celebrity and a person who's been used by so many people. But in the same boat, I could say, I think Ren Amamiya is a more fitting name because of the fact that he needs to portray himself as a much more softer and closed off person, and you know, with Ren Amamiya, it's not as sharp of a sounding name as Akira Kurusu. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm completely just going off about things. But essentially, people are allowed to have their opinions. And, you know, if they want to be like, I think Akira Kurusu's better because it fits the Joker personality more, fucking fine, whatever. It's not my place to yell at you and be like, well, Ren Amamiya is the canon name. No, it's not. You know what the protagonist's canon name is? It's fucking whatever you make it to be. Why? Because he's a self-insert. That's why. Nobody... The debates with Persona characters are so stupid. Honestly. Like, people debate over ships and what's canon. And bro, I don't give a shit if you think Makoto should be kissing Joker on the lips. I'm a gay man, therefore my interpretation of Joker is that he likes both. He's, bro, it's just a thing and a half, honestly. That was just dead air. For context, right? I already said that I'm eating. I have a breakfast croissant with tater tots, and so I'm dipping my tater tots in some ketchup. Good food. So whenever I do that, I kind of just like blank on what I was saying before. It's kind of funny, really, but sometimes I guess I should continue with this topic since it's kind of the one at hand right now. Whenever it comes to interpretations, right? Technically, no interpretation can really be a wrong one. Reason being, you know, it's the way a person views a character. At least that's how I think of it. So, like, if someone wants to be like fucking Ren Amamiya or Akira Kurisu or fucking Mao Tomogawa, whatever name you want to use for him, is he has less of a personality or something as like a protagonist like Yu Narukami, right? Whatever. That is their opinion on it. For me, I think differently. I think Ren as a protagonist is actually like I think he's a bit more expressive than people really let him be. And it's gotten better as people have actually gotten to play the game and understand him more as his own character than a protagonist. Like, just a blank slate protagonist. People have gotten better about that. Because, while yes, they are blank slates to put yourself in their shoes, it's like they're still characters, you know? Like, they were made with a design in mind, a personality in mind. They have a story to themselves. And it's like, I love the idea of protagonists that don't necessarily have something to define them, because it gives you so much more room to work with them and understand them, in a sense, I think, is what I'm trying to say. Like, for example, take a character away from Persona series. Take a character like Byleth from Three Houses. Fucking people can be like, Byleth is a stern son of a bitch, whatever. And technically they're not wrong. I mean, the way that he or she is drawn as and modeled, they do look very stern and very focused on their goal. But you look into the character, and this is just from what I recall, Three Houses. You look into the character, and it's they were essentially a child soldier. Whenever they were born, their heart didn't beat or something, and so they have Sothis in them because Sothis' heart was put into them as a replacement for their own or something, which is cool. That is something you can work with as just a character trait or something to like write them off with. And it worked. It might not make a lot of sense until you find out the greater details of it, but it still works. And so, whenever a game has a silent protagonist, I think it's cool. I think it's a good chance for people to kind of start making an idea of their own character. And that's where I pretty much started. I didn't necessarily start because of that idea of, you know, silent protags are cool and epic and whatnot. So I did it because this is where I derail into another topic, but it started because of the fact that I liked playing Minecraft, right? Oh, here we go. It's the Minecraft section of my rambling when we're only, 16 minutes in? Fucking, not even just with Minecraft, but like with Pokemon too. Back in, I want to say first or second grade. So this is 2011, 2012. I had a friend. I'm not going to say their name. I'll just call them P, I guess. I had a friend, and what would happen whenever we would get off the bus and start going home, because we lived in the same neighborhood, was we would go through, we would go around towards the entrance and go through the ravine section. And in that ravine, we would, as we're walking home, we would just fucking roleplay Pokemon, as embarrassing as it sounds. Like, we would pick a Pokemon that we really enjoy. I think I tend to pick, like, Eevee or Bulbasaur, because that's just Pokemon that I grew up with. And it was so stupid, but so fun, in a sense. Like, we were just fucking around, dude. But that friend of mine, fucking, I got tater tot stuck on my teeth. Fuck. That friend and his older brother, they both played Minecraft. They had an Xbox 360, and that's what I started playing Minecraft on. And they were like, hey, you should check out this game. It's kind of fun. It's multiplayer too, so like we could play it together. And I was like, alright, sure. So we got the demo version. And I don't know if anyone else ever did this with their Xbox 360s, but because we couldn't get it at the time, not because like funds were low, but mom just didn't want to get it. She really didn't understand it at the time. They put their Xbox account onto ours, so whenever they came over to play, we could play the full version of it. And like whenever we would go over to their house, or they were over at our house, we would have to bring controllers over, because like we just didn't have enough controllers for everybody. And so whenever you would grab one of the controllers and you turn it on, like I'm gonna sit down and play some of my video games on my Xbox 360. You'd accidentally turn on the Xbox over at their house or something. It was kind of funny, honestly. Yeah, and I usually had to go over there and be like, hey, sorry, I accidentally turned on your Xbox. You can turn it off now. But since I got introduced to it like way early on, I was super interested in learning like everything I could about Minecraft, or you know, watching people play the game because it was cool. It was something I thought was straight up interesting. And even now, I look back on it, right? And it's like, I didn't really RP on Minecraft until later. And that is because the Xbox 360 version of Minecraft did not have, like, public servers. Which, I mean, as you think about it, right? It's essentially the Windows 10 version, the Bedrock version of Minecraft, not the Java version. And whenever I thought about it, right? It was like, wow, I really wish I could do these cool PC Minecraft version things, like going on public servers to play with people and playing these mock-up of Gmod games with my friends on Minecraft, because it was cool. I genuinely thought it was a cool thing. I look back on it now, right? I had the right idea, but loading up a super flat world and building fucking sitting down on a super flat world and building a restaurant as if people could come there and just eat or do anything they wanted. Kind of a naive idea. And I would love to do that again in a server with my friends whenever it's not as hard. But man, I made a restaurant out of diamond blocks and wood. It looked so bad, but I was so proud of it, and I would invite my friends to the world and be like, hey, you guys want to check out a build I did? And that was the only build on this super big world. And, like, my brother, he would sometimes join me, and we would just build things on super flat worlds. And of course, I'm better now. I'm not as mentally ill to where I only play super flat worlds to build. I can actually build with an environment now. I promise. But I think it was either that same world or a different one that was also a super flat one. I sat down and I made like a hub area, and I made a fucking like Trouble in Terrace Town, if you remember that game. I made a mock-up of it in Minecraft, and it was bad because, you know, it's the Xbox version of Minecraft, no public servers. There has to be at least the owner of the world there so that the actual thing can be open and running. And then of course, like, I don't know, it's so funny to me because I was the only one who could actually make everything work, and I was a stupid little, I don't know, 10-year-old doing that because I wanted to be like people who would play Minecraft and record it. And even now, I fucking I remember whenever I was younger, I had a tablet. It was probably Christmas of like 2013 or something. I don't remember. It was early, right? I was still in elementary school. I had a tablet, and what I would do is I would set it up in a chair that was right next to our Christmas tree that would face the TV, and I would sit down on the ground and just record myself playing Minecraft on that tablet. You could not see the screen. It was too blurry. It was too far away. Like, you got a general idea of it. I'd play on the tutorial world, And what I did, I think, in one of those videos is I found the jungle area in that world and decided I want to build a treehouse. And this is when jungles had just been introduced. Hi. But not in. I just hear you in there. My brother's downstairs. Huh? Okay. I think he's on call with someone. But God, just thinking about.
I stole a brownie around.
Okay. I'm doing like a ramble thing because Orchi wanted something to listen to at school. So I'm just talking to myself. It's been nearly half an hour. Who's that?
My Inquisitor.
Cool.
I used mods to finally get her.
Congratulations, question mark.
Congratulations.
Okay.
Because it took me a day and a half to figure out how to mod Dragon Age Inquisition.
Were you playing it through Steam or Origin?
Origin.
I would imagine it'd be like relatively easy. Isn't it like Sims modding?
No. Sims modding is simple. You take the mod, put it in the mod folder that the game already gives you. Dragon Age Inquisition, you have to download two modding softwares because most mods use one of two different modding softwares. You have to compile it in one software because it compiles it all in the patches. Replace the patches with the modded patch. Then go into Frosty, which is the other one. Put all your mods in there.
Yeah.
You have to run it Frosty through Origin, so Origin can recognize Frosty, and Frosty can then launch the game with all the mods.
It sounds like Minecraft modding back in the day.
Pretty much.
So, it's hell on earth.
Yes. It took me a really long time to figure out that I needed to use two modding softwares, not just one. And then from there, it got even more hectic. Point is, I had like 80 mods that I wanted to download. I could only get 10 to work.
Jesus. Maybe you should reconsider.
What, my life?
No, just Dragon Age.
Well, it's a little too late to reconsider. I got it to work.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted.
But now I'm sitting here rambling to myself about old Minecraft days back on our Xbox 360. And how, like, there was the tutorial worlds, and we played them from, like, beginning to before the Xbox 360 officially died for the Xbox One.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah? What?
About to take your sister and go work.
Did you want to tag one together?
Well, what I was going to do is maybe stop by Wendy's and get some food. But
I ordered food at work.
You get me like a fork before? Oh, you don't know the fork before? It's the 4 chicken nuggets, junior cheeseburger, small fry.
Help.
For $4.
okay. Yeah, I can do that. What kind of drink do you want?
I have
Just
to-
don't even.
I have to
You do
wait.
whatever you
To
drink,
leave.
and then you can just drink it. Or are you gonna get it before or after dropping me off?
We can go before.
Point is, right,
Alright, before then.
I have very fond memories of Minecraft. And, sometimes I flex the fact that I've gotten it on so many different, like, consoles and whatnot. Because now that I think about it, right, we have Minecraft for the Xbox 360, we have it for the Xbox One, we have it for the PlayStation. I was very close to buying it for my Vita. And then we have it for the PC.
Twice over.
3 times, actually.
3 times over.
And probably 4 or 5 times if we consider the fact that we get the Windows 10 edition.
I feel like that's not really.
I mean, whenever you get Minecraft Java edition, you get Bedrock edition with it now.
Oh, fun fact, I can't actually get Bedrock.
Why?
Because the Minecraft, or not Minecraft, the Microsoft Store says that I can't use personal accounts. I have to use like a business account.
That's so weird.
It just refuses to let me log in and get it. It's like, no, this is the wrong kind of account.
Didn't you buy it on your personal thing?
I got it.
Oh. Huh. I did not know that, actually. That's weird.
What, I thought I got it?
No, that it won't let you play it on a personal thing. But not only do I have memories of trying to recreate things like Hypixel or the Hive and whatnot, I also have memories of. Oh wow, this is not a good match. I have memories of going on the Xbox and instead of playing the game, because this is like before we had bought it. I'm gonna just sit and eat the rest of my croissant here, but jeez. I would sit in my living room, going on my Xbox, loading up YouTube. But I would sit, go on my Xbox, look up, not mine, I would look up Minecraft, and it would bring up Minecraft videos, and there was this family that had a long series going on, where they were playing the PC version of Minecraft, and, it was a dad and his, like, 2 daughters, and they would all play this game together, and it was really cute. It was really cute. I enjoyed watching them. And whenever they would play a game, whenever I started from episode 1, it was your generic, hello everybody, welcome to our Minecraft series, I'm so-and-so, this is so-and-so and so-and-so, and then, you know, whenever nighttime would come around, the two girls would be, like, all scared and everything. And it was from the father's perspective. The one that was recording it was the dad. And they built a dirt hut, obviously. That's what you have to start with. And as the series goes on, they dig down and start building their base underground rather than building something above surface. And I think that's kind of where my interest in building underground bases came from, or building things that essentially use like caves and whatnot as their groundwork. Not because I think it's easier to work with it, it's a bit difficult, honestly, but because it's just kind of interesting in a sense. I don't know. I look back on it and I smile about it because I can't find those people, the channel anymore. I can't find anything about them. Not because, like, I think that they've just gone off the face of the earth. They might have, but it's because I just can't remember, like, the channel name or what the series was specifically called, because it was probably something really generic. I'm gonna be honest. And then, of course, I had listened to Minecraft parody songs. And through that, I found people like Captain Sparkles and whatnot. Sky Does Minecraft. I never really watched them that much, honestly. Which is probably a bit weird to say whenever you think about it, right? Because it's like, okay, well, if you found these people and you're watching their stuff, you're probably super interested. Yes and no. I never watched Captain Sparkles' like series that he would do, and same with Sky. And I never watched things like the Minecraft Diaries with Akmal. I did keep up somewhat with Lauren Z's Minecraft stuff, but it was never for very long. And I think part of that reason is because I wanted to be the person who sat down and did the cool Minecraft thing and recorded it and whatnot. I don't know. It's funny whenever I think about it. But yeah, I only started doing roleplay things on Minecraft in probably 2015 or 2016. So back when I was still using... No, I wasn't using Skype in 2016. It would be 2014 to 2015, because I only started using Discord a lot in 2016, and even then, it was a bit, like, my friends didn't really use it, they still used Skype, so at that point I was, like, trying to ease my way into Discord. I only started doing roleplay then because my real life friend, who I'll call C, they were like, hey, you should join me on this server. It's a creative server, people build things, and there's school RPs, because we had more so them. They were obsessed with this Yandere High School RP that was made by some person who I think went by Sam Gladiator or whatever. I honestly could not tell you. Watching those RP things, kinda cringe, not gonna lie. And I only say that because it's like, the acting wasn't the best. It was very, very obviously like Yandere Simulator type beat. Hell, they even had someone with an Ayano skin in there. It's hell on earth, I tell you. But they were obsessed with that. They had a self-insert board and everything. And bro, I was just sitting there sipping my juice. Like, bro, I'm into Off right now. The fun French RPG indie game, whatever. I ain't got time for your Yandere High School, bro. I still humored them about it, though. At the same time, this was around the time that I was kind of super into Falls as well. So, whenever I made my account, I think my username was something like Shooting Star 2004, because haha, funny Mabel, and then my birth year. And I would go onto this creative server whenever my friend would get on it, and I joined School RP, it was cool. It gave me a little bit of an insight onto how things worked, and I kind of just continued from there. And of course now, you cut to real recent times. You got things like Dream SMP and Hermitcraft, and I look at it and it's like interesting, but because it's not children doing it, you know? That's a lie. There are children on the point is, it was being led by adults for the most part, and they, you know, they had an idea of things that would be interesting, dramatic, tension-filled things, and that kind of kept me entertained for it. And of course, that's where I finally discovered some creators that I kept up with for a while, and this is scary. God, I don't know what I'm even talking about anymore. Minecraft, I guess, but... what else is there that I can talk about? Buddy. Please, thank you. I don't know, I guess I could ramble about some stuff that's like not necessarily well known or anything, like the Marker P stuff. I enjoy, right, doing the RP stuff. Piker's in the server now, so that's cool. But me and Idris will sit and we'll talk about characters that we want to make, or I'll be in a chat with Piker and them, and just like we'll talk about it and how we miss like certain characters, or we wish we had the chance to write a character. Like I sat down, I got invited to an RP that was originally a solo host for Xbox, and everyone else was pretty much there except for like Idris, because Tonya was the British person in the group for that. I sat down and brainstormed and wrote a character for 8 hours with Hiker. And I was so interested and happy with how the character ended up being like written and all that, only for me to not get that chance to actually write them. And so now it's just like a very comical joke that we miss this character whose name is like Vaughn, and the other character's name is May, because one's Russian, the other's Chinese, whatever, you know? Oh, we have a disconnect, so that's not good. And for context, right, my character in this situation is, his name is Vaughn, and sorry, I'm completely blanking on what I was talking about. My character name was Vaughn. He was a French-Russian character who, in this sense, because it's a fantasy thing, was technically an isekai protagonist, right? Which is it's really funny, but he was the one who had put him and May into the situation that they're in now, because he was essentially reached out to by the group that's known as the Society, who's all for like world-ending things and whatnot. And so it is kind of funny in that sense, because it's like, okay, this teenager who's into the occult gets reached out to by some mysterious otherworldly force that wants him to essentially pull a corpse party, right? And doom his friends to eternal damnation and suffering and murder, and he does it because he's like, wow, I can get all this grand knowledge if I just decide to kill my friends. And so he does, because he's a little batshit, and it's really funny. In a sense it's funny. I am probably the only one who thinks it's funny. I'm gonna be real. But whenever he gets reincarnated into this world that's technically in the past, like, sorry, there. Okay. It's just like, okay, I have all this knowledge of the past world, so therefore I'm just better than these people, you know? And that's genuinely what this character thinks, is that he's better, he has all this power, he can do things that they can't. And he kind of goes a bit mad scientist, a bit Dotori on the like campaign's ass. He's interested in controlling these otherworldly creatures that are causing torment to civilians and innocent people and whatnot. And it's kind of funny because of this like factor and of his character. He is such an antagonistic character that whenever I was asking Piker to gather his icons for the roleplay, and I was looking at them, and I was looking at art that I could use as the Trello card image, he genuinely was just a character I was so excited to write for because of the fact that he was essentially an antagonist. And that carries over into another character I have that's essentially the same way, named Rojita. She was for a different RP originally, and whenever that like didn't give her a lot of traction, right? I decided to rewrite some of her character to put her into something different, just so it would work out, right? And it did. The payoff was so good. It's very unfortunate that I have these ideas in mind for characters, and whenever I genuinely enjoy that idea, I don't get very far with it. But it's also because whenever I write characters, I focused a lot on relationships. I love viewing the way characters respond to one another and how they all interact with one another in their party. Because it's just like, it's kind of, I guess, that whole feeling of I wish I could be something like that or whatever. Probably not. It is kind of a feeling like, man, so lonely. Man, wish that were me. But at the same time, it's not, because it's character writing is very important to me. If you could not tell, my team is struggling a bit with these. There we go. fuck. I'm like so focused on trying to get these eggs that I am not rambling anymore. Help, okay. And that's completely my fault, anyways. So, you know, it happens. But yeah, I like writing characters. It's one of my favorite things to do. It's sitting down, listening to some songs or something, finding a face claim or some sort of design that inspires me, and just sitting down and deciding I'm going to write something that is so banger everyone's gonna be like, yo, Pog, and then I don't do it. I think about it and it's like I lose my steam fairly quickly, and that's why whenever it comes to character writing with existing characters, take for example Ren Mamiya, I had so much fun writing the Joker AU shit for 3 years with Idris because of the fact that I just got to essentially go through this introspective of, okay, despite the fact that this character is a self-insert and I have put some factors of myself into that character, I don't want to write him as someone who would react to this situation that like I would. So you look at the Joker stuff and it's like it's a eternal loop that was brought on by a witch's magic and whatnot in terms of Daiki, and then whenever it transfers over to being Ren, it was just a wish that had gone awry on his end, and it's like, okay, so he really didn't ask for it, or well, he did, but he didn't mean for it to be in that way. And you think about it for a while, and it's just like, okay, wow, this is not fucked up. And it is. It genuinely is one of the more fucked up things that I have sat down and wrote because of the, like, just the idea. Nobody wants to be put into that situation of, like, only being able to dream of a place that, like, sorry, I'm completely... With Ren, right, you know that it's just... It's essentially just his dream, because the whole thing is he's in this coma that is brought upon by failing Maruki's palace deadline, and the wish that is essentially granted was that he wanted to restart the year, knowing that it's not something that could happen, but just like that hopeful desire that he could have a do-over with what actions he had taken, so he can finish palaces, or he can save more people, or, you know, prevent so much from being harmful to others, or save Kechi from Shido. Anything that would have given him a better ending. And technically, yeah, he gets that wish, but not in the sense that he wanted. He's still put to sleep for God knows how long. He's like... He instead is put through this endless loop of the year the Phantom Thieves became a thing, and like no one can save him at that point. And he goes through years upon years of this dream, growing stronger and more Joker-like, rather than Ren-like, because of the fact that it's just non-stop. This is his life. This is what it's become, and he accepts that. But at the same time, he straight up just goes mad with power. He fuses himself with his personas and with all of this, and it's kind of it's scary. I mean, what do you do whenever a borderline psychopathic demon suddenly starts obsessing over you because you were someone that he used to be fairly close with in some other timeline, but it's different now, and he can't grasp that concept without being frustrated with the fact that he's alone. He's alone in this world of his dreams, of the same thing, the same memories, the same people, taking different paths until they're all exhausted, and even then, he doesn't necessarily get that break that he wants. He desires to finally just have things go his way for once, and he doesn't get that. Not because he isn't worthy of it, or because he hasn't done everything that he's needed to do. It's just a matter of circumstance and the fact that there is just other things at play that prevent this freedom that he really wants. And rather than, you know, deciding to continue to play by the books and be this good, courageous leader who, probably sounding matches not very good. Instead of being the courageous leader of the Phantom Thieves who does good by the people and doesn't do it for the fame, he goes down the darker routes that he could have gone through before. He kills people. He decides to hurt people and harass them and do any means to find something to entertain him until finally, eventually, whatever this thing is comes to an end. And in a sense, it does. I did have an ending for all of it right now with Idris, but I genuinely enjoy thinking about what the whole Joker thing is like. And maybe that is partially because, yeah, I spent a long while writing it. I'm not gonna say that it really isn't, because it definitely is. But I cling so tightly to the story of Ren Joker and Daiki Joker because it's that interesting to me. Being able to have something that I personally wrote be so precious to me is kind of weird in a sense. And whenever it came down to the stuff that happened with everyone, it wasn't just because we were talking about Persona. It's because of the fact that we had stayed writing that Joker AU timeline for the 3 years. And for some reason, I don't know, they can have their AUs that they write for a year, more than that, months, I don't care. But for whenever it came down to us, apparently it was just a bad thing. And I don't quite know why. Honestly, I don't want to bother knowing why. It just shit happens. croissants, you know? God, that croissant is so good. You got the fucking croissant buttered with the cheese, the scrambled eggs, lots of them, the crispy bacon, and the Swiss cheese. Good. But yeah, I don't remember what started that whole thing. Point is, I like to write. I really do. Of course, I've been getting burnt out fairly easily recently, but I think that's just because I'm working so much. And you know, you can't really prevent something like that because it happens, you know? But you kind of wish it could be, better. So yeah, we've hit the 1 hour mark, so I'm gonna go ahead and close it off here, finish eating. I don't know, maybe I'll play some more late, but I feel like this recording's gonna be choppy enough. Mainly because I haven't adjusted anything with OBS, so it's a little yikes. But yeah, oh boy. See you later. Bye bye.